Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Welcome to the City of Quinte West Committee of Adjustment meeting. The committee is made up of 5 members. I'm a public member. My name is Harm Zelstra. I'll be the chair this evening. And on my immediate left is public member Doug Phillips. And on his left is public member Paul Lafferty. And his left, public member David Jesse. And on our far left is Councillor Jim Ellier. On my immediate right is Anne-Marie Cunningham. She's the Committee of Adjustment Coordinator. And on her right is Kelly West. She's the Manager of Planning Services. Because this is a hearing under the Planning Act, when the committee gets to the applications for consideration, each application will be brought up in the order listed on the agenda with an opportunity for public input given prior to discussion and consideration by the committee. If you wish to make a comment, please raise your hand to be recognized by the chair. Consent decisions made tonight will have a last day of appeal of February 29th, 2024.
Did I not change that?
Pardon?
Oh, I changed that. April 4th.
Oh,
Sorry, April 4th. I'm sorry.
I'm programmed to read, not to think.
I changed it on the wrong form. I apologize.
Consent decisions made tonight will have a last day of appeal of April the 4th. If anyone wishes to receive a copy of one of the notices of decision, please use the pad of paper provided by the sign-in sheet to indicate your name, mailing address, or email address, and which decision you would like a copy of, and it will be sent to you. If anyone has not signed in on the sign-in sheet, please do so, as this is used for the minutes of the meeting. Could I have any disclosures of pecuniary interest for tonight? Hearing none. Could I have approval of the agenda for this evening, March 14th?
So moved.
Moved by Jim, second by Doug. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And approval of the minutes of February the 8th, 2024. Moved by Paul, second by David. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. First application is consent application B9-24S. The owner is Brian Sign. Legal description is Part Lot 26, Concession 6. The address is west of 236 Fish and Game Club Road in Sydney Ward. And the purpose of the application is to sever a parcel of land which would create one new vacant lot. The severed would have a frontage of 52 meters, a depth of 138 meters, an area of 0.9 hectares, and the retained would have a frontage of 118.2 meters, a depth of 904.2 meters, and total area of 36.7 hectares. Any comments or concerns from the public regarding this application? Mr. Sign here tonight? Okay, thank you. Any questions or concerns for Mr. Sign?
Move the recommendation, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, moved by Jim, seconded by
Dave.
Dave, okay. That application B9-24S by Brian Sign to sever a parcel of land west of 236 Fish and Game Club Road, Part Lot 26, Concession 6, in the former township of Sydney is hereby approved, subject to the following conditions. 1, that a registered survey for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. 2, that a draft transfer for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. 3, that the tax account for the subject property be paid up to date. And 4, that a zoning bylaw amendment be in effect for the severed lands pursuant to the Planning Act. And that is it. All in favor? Thank you. Next application is consent application B10-24M. Owner is Jeff Harrison Farms Limited. Legal description, part lot 6, concession 5. The address is north of 1226 Stockdale Road in Murray Township, former Murray Township, Murray Ward, let's put it that way. The purpose of the application is to sever a parcel of land which would create one new vacant lot. The severed would have a frontage of 64.85 meters, a depth of 62.30 meters, and total area of 4,172 square meters. The retained would have a frontage of 66.48 meters, a depth of 62.30 meters, and total area of 4,173 square meters. Any comments or concerns from the public regarding this application? Hearing none. Jeff Harrison is online at the moment. Any questions for Mr. Harrison? Anyone? No? We're making it too easy on him. Okay. Moved by Doug, second by Paul.
Does Jeff want to say anything? Did Jeff want to speak at all?
That application B10-24M by Jeff Harrison Farms Limited to sever a parcel of land north of 1226 Stockdale Road, Part 6, Concession 5, in the former township of Murray, is hereby approved subject to the following conditions. 1, that a registered survey for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. 2, that a draft transfer for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. 3, that the tax account for the subject property be paid up to date. 4, that a parcel of land measuring 13 meters from the center line of the road along the frontage of the severed and retained lands along Stockdale Road be conveyed for road widening purposes to the city at no cost to the satisfaction of Public Works. And 5, that the existing building be demolished with all debris removed and all necessary permits obtained to the satisfaction of the city. Got that all, Mr. Harrison?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Just, how long do you have to remove that? It's a barn, and I don't think you need a permit for a barn, but how long do I have to remove that?
Kelly?
You'll have 2 years to complete all of your conditions.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Was this property not dealt with quite some time ago to sever this part, like both these?
So we did a lot addition
Was there a
to,
lot addition?
in order to enable the area of this
Okay.
2 lots to be created. Yeah, so we
Yeah.
did a lot addition.
Was that not a condition prior to that, to have that
There was,
removed?
Mr. Chair, there's 2 barns on the parcel in question, and there was 2 acres originally that I thought we could sever, but because of road widening, I needed to put a lot addition on it so that, it would still meet the conditions that were required. So the 1 barn was removed to, allow for the lot addition, but there is a secondary barn on the property, a very smaller one that I was hoping to keep, but apparently I can't. That's fine. We'll take it down.
Okay. Moved by Doug and Paul, right? Okay. All in favor? Thank you. Next application is consent application B11-24M. William George Burton is the owner. Agent is Greg King. Part Lot 10, Concession 6. The address is west of 1081 County Road 5 in Murray Ward. And the purpose of the application is to sever a parcel of land which would create one new vacant lot. The severed lot would have a frontage of 170.8 meters, a depth of 81.8 meters, and total area of 2 hectares. And the retained would have a frontage of 76.3 meters, a depth of 1,228.3 meters, and total area of 47.9 hectares. Any comments or concerns from the public regarding this application? Pardon, ma'am?
Can you come up to the microphone so that everybody can hear you better?
My big moment, thank you. I would just like to know if where the access may be for this building. Would it be off Reed Road or would another access? Or is that to be decided?
It is a very large lot, but Kelly?
So the access for the proposed severed lot would come off of County Road 5,
Okay,
because that's where the frontage is. It doesn't have road access anywhere else.
so but there's Reed Road or there's a kind of rough road where the sign for the severance is. So I don't know if
There's an unopened road allowance along the western boundary of the property line. So the proposed retained parcel has a bit of land between that and the severed parcel. So the severed parcel will not be accessing it off of an unopened road allowance.
Okay, and what about all the trees and stuff there? Will that be taken down, or do you know?
I don't know. No. And we do not have a tree cutting bylaw.
Okay, and how long will it take?
I do not know.
Any other comments or concerns regarding this application? Hearing none, any comments or concerns?
I'll move the recommendation, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, moved by Jim, seconded by David.
Could you just ask her name for the minutes, please?
What's that?
Just ask that lady's name for the minutes.
Ma'am, your name? Okay, thank you. That application B 11-24M by William George Burton, Great King agent, to sever a parcel of land west of 1081 County Road 5, Part Lot 10, Concession 5, in the former township of Murray is hereby approved, subject to the following conditions. 1, that a registered survey for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. 2, that a draft transfer for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. 3, that the tax account for the subject property be paid up to date. 4, that a zoning bylaw amendment be in effect for the severed and retained lands pursuant to the Planning Act. And 5, that a parcel of land measuring 13 meters from the center line of the road along the frontage and severed along the frontage of the severed and retained lands along County Road 5 be conveyed for road widening purposes to the city of Quinte West at no cost to the satisfaction of Public Works. And 6, that a daylight triangle measuring 5 meters along County Road 5 and 5 meters along the road allowance between lots 10 and 11, which is not traveled, as measured from the property line along the retained lands, be conveyed to the city at no cost to the municipality for road widening purposes to the satisfaction of Public Works. All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Who was the mover and seconder? I don't think you got a mover and seconder on that one, did you?
Yes, we did. Jim and David.
Just Jim and David?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a land swap here. So. Okay, the next application is consent application B12-24S. The owner is David Ward and Ramona Ward. The agent is Keith Watson. Legal description is part lots 11 and 12, concession 6. The address is 1447 Fish and Game Club Road, in Sydney Ward. And the purpose of this application is to sever a parcel of land for lot addition purposes, which would add land to the adjoining property. This application relates to consent application B 13-24S, which is being processed concurrently. The severed portion would have a frontage of 12.1 meters, a depth of 91.4 meters, and an area of 0.11 hectares. And the retained would have a frontage of 79.2 meters, a depth of 91.5 meters, and total area of 0.74 hectares. Any comments or concerns from the public regarding this application? Okay, basically, these two applications are a land swap by the looks of things. Oh, no, you're fine. Unless we've got a question for you. Okay. Any questions from the committee? No? Okay. We'll have to still do these applications separately because they are different descriptions, so. Moved by Doug and seconded by Paul. That application B 12-24S by David Ward and Ramona Ward, Keith Watson agent, to sever a parcel of land for lot addition purposes at 1447 Fish and Game Club Road, part lots 11 and 12, concession 6, in the former township of Sydney, is hereby approved, subject to the following conditions. One, that a registered survey for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. Two, that a draft transfer for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. Three, that the tax account for the subject property be paid up to date. Four, that the severed parcel be deeded as a lot addition to the recipient property, and the applicant's lawyer submit an undertaking to register consolidation on title, giving effect to the lot addition. Five, that the applicant's lawyer submit a legal opinion verifying that the lot addition lands will merge on title with the recipient parcel under the Planning Act. And six, that parcels of land measuring 10 meters from the center line of the road along the frontage of the severed and retained lands along Fish and Game Club Road be conveyed for road widening purposes to the city at no cost to the satisfaction of public works. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. This is the other half of the request. Consent application B 13-24S. The owner is Joseph Skid and Ty Skid. Keith Watson, agent. Legal description, part lot 11 and 12, concession 6. The address is 1457 Fish and Game Club Road in Sydney Ward. And the purpose of the application is to sever a parcel of land for lot addition purposes, which would add land to the adjoining property. As stated, this application relates to consent application B 12-24S, which is being processed concurrently. The severed parcel would have no frontage, a depth of 47.3 meters, and an area of 0.38 hectares. And the retained would have a frontage of 160.8 meters, a depth of 604 meters, and a total area of 25.6 hectares. Any comments or concerns from the public? Hearing none. Same application, basically. Moved by David, second by Jim. That application B 13-24S by Joseph Skid and Ty Skid, Keith Watson, agent, to sever a parcel of land for lot addition purposes at 1457 Fish and Game Club Road, parts lots 11 and 12, concession 6, in the former township of Sydney, is hereby approved, subject to the following conditions. One, that a registered survey for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. Two, that a draft transfer for the severed parcel be submitted to the city. 3, that the tax account for the subject property be paid up to date. 4, that the severed parcel be deeded as a lot addition to the recipient property, and that the applicant's lawyer submit an undertaking to register a consolidation on title, giving effect to the lot addition. 5, that the applicant's lawyer submit a legal opinion verifying that the lot addition lands will merge on title with the recipient parcel under the Planning Act. And 6, that a zoning bylaw amendment be in effect for the severed lands pursuant to the Planning Act. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next application is consent application B 14-24S. The owners are Bennett and Rachel DeWall. Legal description is Part Lot 6, Concession 8. The address is 209 Keating Road in Sydney Ward. This consent application B 922S was approved by the Committee of Adjustment on March the 12th, 2020. All the conditions of consent were met, and the certificate of official was issued on April 20th, 21st. However, the certificate of official was not registered on title within the 2-year deadline under the Planning Act. So we have to do this again. The purpose of the application is to sever a parcel of land for lot addition purposes, which would add land to the adjoining property. As stated, this application is a submission of consent application B-20S. The severed would have no frontage, a depth of 142.76 meters, an area of 892 square meters, and the retained would have a frontage of 45.72 meters, and a depth of 606.17 meters, and a total area of 16.19 hectares. Any comments or concerns from the public? Hearing none. Any comments or concerns from the committee? No.
I'll move it.
Moved by Jim, second by Doug. That application B 14-24S by Ben and Rachel DeWall to sever a parcel of land for lot addition purposes at 209 Keating Road, Part Lot 6, Concession 8 in the former township of Sydney is hereby approved, subject to the following conditions. 1, that a draft transfer for the subject parcel be submitted to the city. 2, that the tax account for the subject property be paid up to date. 3, that the severed parcel be deeded as a lot addition to the recipient property, and the applicant's lawyer submit an undertaking to register a consolidation on title, giving effect to the lot addition. 4, that the applicant's lawyer submit a legal opinion verifying that the lot addition lands will merge on title with the recipient parcel under the Planning Act. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Any other business to come before this committee? Hearing none. Any from the committee members?
Move to adjourn.
Moved by Jim, second by Doug, and all in favor. Thank you.
That was David, wasn't it?
Pardon?
That was David that seconded it.
Yeah.
Dave.